We thought the farmhouse was our fresh start, but on the first night, the knocking began. By the third, we found a note: "You don't belong here. Leave." Now, a voice on the baby monitor is warning us, and I'm terrified it might be too late to listen. The old farmhouse was everything we dreamed of. It had character, a wraparound porch, and a backyard that seemed to stretch for miles. When the real estate agent told us the price, we couldn't believe our luck. It was less than half of what other homes in the area were selling for. We moved in quickly, excited to start a new chapter with our 2 kids. The first night, we toasted with cheap champagne and laughed about how we finally had a place to call our own. At around midnight, the knocking started. It was sharp and deliberate, echoing through the empty halls. My husband, Eric, went to answer it, but when he opened the door, no one was there. He shrugged it off as kids playing pranks, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The next morning, we found a note nailed to the porch railing. It read, "You don't belong here. Leave." Eric dismissed it, saying it was probably some bitter neighbor angry the house had been sold. But the warnings didn't stop. Over the next few days, we found strange things left on the property: a dead bird on the porch swing, muddy footprints leading up to the back door, and a pile of ash in the middle of the kitchen floor. One night, as we were putting the kids to bed, we heard footsteps upstairs. Eric grabbed a baseball bat and told me to stay with the kids while he checked it out. I waited, heart pounding, until he came back pale and shaken. "The attic door was open," he said quietly. "I'm sure I locked it." The next day, we decided to call the police. They took our statement, but didn't find any evidence of forced entry. Before they left, one of the officers hesitated at the door and said, "This house, it has a history. You might want to look into it." That night, I did. What I found made my blood run cold. The house had been in one family for over a century. The last owner, a man named John Hill, had lost it to foreclosure after refusing to sell. He had vowed that no one else would ever live in his house. As I read, the lights flickered, and I heard a low creak from upstairs. I glanced at Eric, who was frozen in place, staring at the ceiling. Then, from the baby monitor, we heard a deep, raspy voice whisper, "Get out." Want part 2? Comment part 2 and like and follow to not miss out.